Hey guys, welcome to OnFireRobloxScripting, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a tool that respawns whenever a player dies. So let's just get right into it. So before we start, make sure you go under the View tab and open up the Explorer and Properties, and then what we need is an actual tool. So to do that, I'm going to go under the Home tab, I'm going to click on the Toolbox, and I'm probably just going to insert a flashlight tool right here. Okay, and you want to make sure that your tool is not in the starter pack. So just like that. So now we have this tool inside the workspace, just like this. When you click on the tool and go under the Explorer, if you open up the tool, there should be a main part called Handle. Now under this handle, we want to click the plus and enter in a proximity prompt. So this is how we're going to pick up our tool with the proximity prompt. So if you click on the proximity prompt, you can go down to the properties of it and you can change the properties. For example, the action text, we can turn that into something like pick up. Maybe we want the hold duration to be 1 second. And maybe we want the object text to be the object. So in this case, it's going to be a flashlight, just like that. But yeah, you can play around with these properties until you have what you want. So once we have the proximity prompt under the handle, we're actually going to go into the workspace. I'm going to click the plus and we're going to enter in a bool value. So I'm just going to rename this bool value to tool. And then if you go into the properties of this bool value, we're just going to set it to true. So this is how we're going to track if there is a tool on the map or not. So if this value is set to true, then the tool is right here and we don't need to respawn the tool. And if it is set to false, then we can respawn that tool. So after we have our bool value under the workspace, we can now go back to our actual tool, which is our flashlight in this case. I'm going to click the plus, enter in a local script, and I'm just going to rename the script to something like the tool handler. And then I'm going to zoom in on the code, and you can now write what I write. So we're going to start out with some variables. So local tool equals to script.parent. So that is going to be our actual tool. And then local prox, this is going to be short for proximity prompt. This is going to be the tool.handle.proximity prompt. And then we're going to have one for the bool value. So local, I'm just going to call this BLN for bool value. So BLN tool equals to, and this is going to be workspace.tool because that's what we named our bool value. So after that, we can go down 2 lines and we can now write the pickup tool part. So we're going to write prox.triggered : connect function. We're going to put in brackets, and then inside the brackets, we're going to write player. And then we're going to go out 1 and then go down a line. So this player parameter just gets, it just tells the code who triggered this proximity prompt, so we can give it to that player. So we can simply write tool.parent equals to player.backpack. And then we can update our bool value. So boolean tool.value equals to false. So whenever we set this boolean to false, it's just going to tell us that this tool is no longer inside the workspace. Because we're using a proximity prompt, it's a good idea right after we parent it to the backpack to disable the proximity prompt. So we can just simply write something like prox.enabled equals to false. So this is what your pickup tool script should look like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way back to the Explorer, and then we're going to go into the replicated storage. We're going to click the plus and we're going to enter in a remote event. And I'm just going to rename this remote event to respawn tool, just like that. And then what we want to do is actually go to our tool that is currently under the workspace. You can either copy or duplicate it. And then you want to put another copy of that into the replicated storage. So what this means is you're going to have your initial tool. So if I go into the workspace, so you're going to have an initial tool inside your workspace, and you're going to have a replicated tool that we're going to replicate later down the line inside your replicated storage. So once you have that tool inside the replicated storage, what we can do is actually go into the server script service. We're going to click the plus, we're going to enter any script, and I'm going to rename this script to respawn handler. And then once again, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you can now write what I write. This time we're going to start off with some services. So local replicated storage equals to game colon get service. Inside the brackets, we're going to put in quotation marks and then write replicated storage. After that, we're going to go down 2 lines, and now we're going to start off with our variables. So first, we're going to need the actual tool. So local tool equals to the replicated storage colon wait for child, and then this is going to be the name of your tool, or in this case, this is our flashlight. And then we're going to need to connect our remote event also. So this is going to be local respawn tool event equals to replicated storage colon wait for child. Inside the brackets, this is going to be the name of our remote event, or in this case, that is going to be respawn tool. And then the final variable we need is our tool boolean. So that's going to be local bln tool, and that's going to be equal to workspace dot tool. Remember that this tool is our boolean value. So after that, we can go down 2 lines, and we can now write our respawn logic. So that's going to be respawn tool event dot on server event colon connect function. We're going to put in brackets, we're going to write in player, and then we're going to go down a line, and then we're going to first check if there is or isn't a tool already in the workspace with our boolean. So to do that, we can write if bln tool dot value equals to false, then so what this means is if the boolean is false, that means there's currently no tool in the workspace. Then we can go ahead and respawn the tool and set the boolean back to true. So we can just write boolean.value equals to true, and now we can put a copy of that tool back into the workspace. So to do that, we can write local new tool equals to tool colon clone, and then go down a line and then write new tool dot parent equals to workspace, just like that. So this should be your respawn handler script under the server script service. And then the very last thing we need to do is go under the starter GUI. We're going to click the plus and enter in a local script. And I'm just going to rename this local script to respawn tool, just like that. And in here, we can start off with writing some services. So local replicated storage equals to game colon get service. Inside the brackets, I'm going to put in quotation marks and write replicated storage. And then we're going to get another one for the players. So local players equals to game colon get service. Inside the brackets, we're going to write in quotation marks. And this time we're going to write in players. After that, we can now write in our variables. So local player equals to players dot local player, and then local humanoid equals to player dot character, and then we're going to write colon wait for child. Inside the brackets, put in quotation marks and write in humanoid with a capital H. And finally, we're going to need a variable for our remote event. So local respawn tool event equals to replicated storage colon wait for child. Inside the brackets, quotation marks, and then the name of our remote event, which in this case is respawn tool. So after we have our variables done, we can now go ahead and write the respawn upon death section or whatever. So to do that, we can just simply write humanoid dot died colon connect, and then put in brackets and write function, and put another set of brackets, go out 1, and then go down a line. And then after this, we can just tell the server, so respawn to event colon fire server. So with that out of the way, let's go test it out. So here I am inside the game, and if I walk towards this tool over here, as I get closer, you can see the proximity prompt has now showed up, and I can hold it and it picks up and goes into my backpack. So you can see this tool is no longer inside the workspace and is in my backpack, and I can freely use this tool. Now if I just reset my character to kill myself, if I die, you can see that this tool has respawned to where it originally was, and it is no longer inside my backpack. But I can go up to the tool and pick it up again, and I can use it like nothing happened. If I die again, the tool will once again respawn. Now, let's say if I go over here and I just die without having the tool, nothing happens because the tool is already in the workspace, and we're telling the server to check if the tool is already there before attempting to respawn it. But yeah, that'll be it for this tutorial. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!